Time for a Garden 30 and bonus footage at the end. Hi, welcome back to Ponderosa Garden Adventures. I'm Sharon. If you haven't been here before, we garden here in Southern California, Zone 10A. You can see I've got a lot of great color going on in early March in my garden here. But today we're expecting some really hot weather. We've got, for the next couple days, we're supposed to be between about 93 and 97 for our high. So I know that I've got some roses in pots and some other things that are needing to have the soil topped up. I'm starting to see the roots showing, and so I'm going to go through this morning and I'm going to add some soil. We're going to get mulch and make sure everything's mulched on top, and then we'll make sure everything's watered really well. And then we'll see what other things. I've got a few other things I want to try to get done. We're outside here in the morning before the heat of the day so that we can get these things done. So come along, let's get that done today. There we go. We're going to come over here and we're going to work on this first rose here. So I've got my soil cart. And you can see that we can see the roots in there. So we want to go ahead and get the soil topped off, and then we're going to put some mulch on there. So I've got my bucket here and I've got a can of mulch. I'm going to go get, I like to use the cedar mulch, and so that's down here. So let's go fill up our bucket with the mulch so we can get these things done. This is the other rose we're going to work on. You can see again, we can see the roots there. So we're going to come through and we're going to add the soil and add the mulch on there. So let's go fill up our mulch. Oh, where did we moved our can. I forgot. We moved our can. Where did I put it? What happens when it's really busy? Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. So you can see I have just this old metal trash can here, and we've got spider webs inside too. Let me show you the inside here. We've got some cedar mulch in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill up my bucket, and then we'll use that for getting our roses mulched. I like using the cedar mulch because it also helps with pests, because they don't like the smell. So, and also the bunnies don't seem to like the smell, so to keep them out of the plants. Okay, so we've got our bucket full of the mulch here. Let's go back and get the soil on those roses and get those taken care of. All right, let's get our water line down with her. Here we got the soil, and let's get some mulch on here. Got all our things. Let's move on to the next one. Mulch here. All right, that looks good. All right, 2 down. Okay, so down here we need to get some mulch onto our lemon cypress. what we have left in the bucket, and then I'll go refill it. So there's what we have left. I'll get that on there. Let me go get some more. This particular batch had some pretty big pieces in there, which is okay on these bigger plants. I don't like it for the smaller bedding plants, but okay, and I'm here in Tuscany, and I'm going to put some mulch on this hibiscus. It needs to be transplanted, but I'm not going to be able to do that for the next several days, so I'm going to make sure to get some mulch on here so it'll be fine through this heat wave. Then we've got some bulbs over here. I'm going to get those done too. Okay, so I've got bulbs here, and I want to get some of this on top here. So let me go get another bucket full. Let's see, we've got tulips coming up. Put a light layer. There we go. There we go. I have my grapefruit tree over here. We're going to get some on that. It's got some leaves on there. I left the leaves as mulch. Looks like we've got a grapefruit right in there. It's a small one. Needs to be trimmed also. Task for another day. Don't want to trim on a day when we've got a heat warning. Let's just get some of this mulch in here. The grapefruit tree, like the limes and the oranges, have really large thorns, so I'm trying to be really careful moving around with all of that. But the blossoms smell amazing. Okay, and to knock blossoms over. Oh, there we go. All right, on to the flowers in Tuscany. I'm gonna come in here, and I've got flowers in the four corners here. Okay, so this is the plumeria that we just transplanted. So I'll make some room here. Okay, so we're going to get some mulch around the plumeria to help keep the moisture in. They don't like to have wet feet, but they like to dry out between watering. So we'll give this guy a good water today before the heat comes, and that should really help it out. Well, thanks so much for coming along with me today. That was a great Garden 30. It was just a little chunk of time in the morning here before the heat of the day hits, and I'm so happy that I got it done. So we've got soil in and mulch on top of both of those roses. We got mulch on the grapefruit and the lemon cypress and the other cypress, the Italian cypress, on top of all the bulbs, the plumeria, and the 4 pots that are with flowers in Tuscany. So that's a great thing to get done and make sure they're going to be able to survive this heat. So I hope you'll come back and join us again. We've got lots of things coming up on the channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing that. It really helps us a lot. It's just a small channel, and that really helps us grow. Lets YouTube know that you'd like to see more content like this. And if you give us a thumbs up and share with friends, that helps too. I'm glad you joined me. We'll see you next time on Ponderosa Garden Adventures. Bye, guys. All right, I'm going to leave you with just some beauty in the garden right now that's here around Tuscany where we were working today. Over here, the apple tree is blossoming. We have little apples on there. And Kumeyaay is looking just amazing. And the really amazing thing is that most of this was self-seeded. The calendula self-seeded itself through there. I just let it go. And the lavender, same thing. It actually seeded itself outside the garden, and then when that grew up, it seeded into the garden. So I'm just going to leave that for this season because I think it looks amazing. So we'll leave it there.